But hello, everybody. Glad you could all join me tonight. It's going to be a fun night. But before we get started, I just wanted to mention I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, have heard of the passing of Matthew Toomey. So keep his family in your thoughts and prayers today. He passed away yesterday. He's a big loss to the metal detecting community. He's a great ambassador for the community. I'm sure most of you know Matty Toomey, his son, did the live stream, and yeah, it's huge. So my heart goes to his family. He was a truly nice dude. If any of you ever had got to spend any time with him, you would know too. He fought a hard battle, and now he has his wings, and he can watch over his family from a place of peace and no pain. It's not much of a comfort, I know, but he's not in pain anymore, and that's what matters. So we could all just take a moment. I just wanted to mention that. In the meantime, I want to say hi to everybody that's in here this evening. We have Clark's Cove Detecting. We have Diglogist, who is our a guest, as well as Dime Detective. I'll be bringing them up in a minute. We have Tracy finding goodies too. JBP, Jimmy Cloak, Lisa P, Marlon, Mayor Videos, Mark Thomas, Mark the Berg, oh, Danny Boy, just a digging, Shannon Dalton, and Viento Samurai. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody who just came in. Yeah, Shannon, he was a great fella. He was a really nice dude. Nomad Grandma, hello. You guys will hear a dog barking in the background, but these tubes 27. I also, real quick before we bring up our guests, you all need to check out, I did tell him I'd mention him this evening. You all need to check out these tubes 27. I'm going to try to get his channel. My computer is slow, and please don't mind the dog screaming. She's in the crate for a little while because I would not be able to stream whatsoever with them both in here. They've been... So these tubes 27, I'm going to share the screen on his channel real quick. And our guests are patiently waiting backstage. There we go. This is their channel, his channel. Y'all need to go ahead and check them out. It looks like I didn't watch this whole one, but I did watch it. I watched it on my TV. We got, let's see, about section. I metal detect on land and in water. I will suggest be a little more info in your about section now. Just a little more, like what machine you use, stuff like that. Just fill out your about section just a little bit more. It actually will help. Some of the keywords are going to be in there, so it'll help people find you. So you guys make sure you go over there. We're at 149 subscribers. I am going to put the link in the chat if I can get my chat up. There we go. So check this channel out. All right, so there are 11 entries for the Clean Earth Challenge. We will do that in a little bit. Team Lynch is here. Totally Gnarly Treasure is here. So we'll do that in a little bit. The lower 4 prizes are courtesy of Team Lynch. We'll show the photos in a little while, but also each of those places, in addition to that, will get a Merc. Third and fourth to get a Rosie. And fifth place to get a Buffalo from me, along with stickers. And as you all know, the first place is the 1922 piece dollar, a Buffalo nickel, and a Rosie. These two are courtesy of Team Lynch. All right, so let's bring our guests up. Awesome job. Look at that. You guys need to definitely check his channel out because he managed a ring recovery today. Hello, Michael. I have guests tonight, so maybe next time, buddy, okay? All right, so let's bring up our guests. Here we are. We got Diglogist and Dime Detective.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Gregory Gibson. All right, so let's start with a lot of people only know channel names and not people names.
Yes.
Introduce yourselves.
John, Daniel.
John and Daniel. Easy names to remember.
Well, he answer to most anything.
Sometimes he calls me Diglogist, and other times he calls me things I can't really say.
Not PG, huh?
Especially if I find a big, fat, juicy silver coin like this.
So we're gonna ask the. All right, Team Lynch. Also got to say hi real quick to Madison, Maine, Richie, and everything treasure. And plugs for days.
Hello, plugs. Hello, Mayor Videos. Hello, Clark's Cove. Glad y'all could drop in.
Yeah, all awesome people tonight in the chat.
Well, Bird Hunter's in here.
Yep, he's awesome too. Stories from the Signal, Patrick. I don't know if you guys have checked him out yet, but
I have not checked out his channel, but I'm going to do that.
Definitely do. He's a cool dude and great little videos. he tells a story with each one. That's what makes him stand out for me. So we'll start with you, John.
Yes.
What got you into metal detecting?
I met a fella probably about 15 years ago, and he was a big Civil War relic hunter, and he had quite a collection. His name was Richard. He's passed away now. He got some type of kidney cancer. He survived it for a while, but anyway, he showed me some things that I couldn't believe. He's found things that I probably will never find because they're probably not out there no more. 30 years ago, when people were relic hunting, they were getting, go out and get 2 or 3 buckles a day, buttons and all kinds of stuff, but it's thinned out. It's not as much in the ground as it was, but it's still there. He got me into it. He showed me his collection, and I got interested. But I didn't get into it until 2012.
Okay.
I was talking about getting a metal detector so much that my girlfriend at the time, well, she's still my girlfriend. My girlfriend actually went out and bought me a bounty hunter just to shut me up. And well, I still got that bounty hunter. It was $79 bounty hunter, and came with a set of headphones so big that you couldn't hear nobody. People could scream at you, and you wouldn't hear them on the beach. And that's where I started hunting. I started at a little beach in Hampton, Virginia, and went from there to other beaches. And I said, you know what, this machine is okay, but there's all these other good ones out here. So my brother knew that I was doing beach hunts, so he bought me a machine for my birthday, and it was called a Viper Trident, and kind of resembled the Excalibur, but nowhere close to the quality. I used it for a while, and it did pretty good. And then I got into relic hunting. The first thing I did was I went out and bought the AT Max. At the time, that was all the rage. Yeah. I mean, everybody was making videos with the AT Max, and it's a really good machine. I've found a lot of coins. I found a lot of relics with it. You just can't go wrong with the Garrett products. They're great. Got into relic hunting and met a guy on through Craigslist. That should have been a red flag right there. He turned out to be kind of a jerk and pretty much the metal detecting community kind of kicked him to the curb. I'm not going to say his name because that would just make him stronger. But hunted with him a little bit, did some videos. And then I met this guy named Doug Campbell. And we started hunting together. We hit it off real good. We started hunting parks. And then we went into some random woods that was, part of the city property in Virginia Beach. And got out there and started finding colonial flat buttons, eagle buttons, Civil War bullets. I was hooked then. I was like, this is awesome. So me and him hung out for probably maybe a year and a half, maybe less than that. We made several videos together. Matter of fact, my first Spanish silver ever, I found hunting with him, and he called himself Dig Dug. If you go back, way back in my videos, you'll see this guy in there talking, and we did a dual perspective. He would actually record on his camera, and then I would record, and we put them together and make the video. Right. So we went around and we would ask permissions, and we would go places down in the creeks. We would go in the woods wherever we could, any kind of park. We would go around schools. One of my first silvers was a Rosie in front of elementary school. And I was so happy to get that 1964 Rosie, where I thought I was big stuff. And see if I can find it. We went to a place in Surrey County, Virginia, a little town called Claremont. Now, I don't know if many people here actually are familiar with that area, but the town is really small, has a small population, always has been. And that's actually where the first settlers landed prior to going to Jamestown. They were there 2 days earlier. And then because there were Native Americans there, they went across the river and they claimed that spot and called it Jamestown. But me and Dig Dug was driving around one morning, just trying to look for people to ask permissions. We've seen this guy. He's pushing the mower with one hand, drinking a beer with the other. I said, yeah, this is this guy I need to talk to. So we pulled over. I walked up to him. I can't remember his name now. Might have been David, but he said, hey, man, we do this metal detecting, and we'd like to know if we can hunt around this old building here. There was a building in front of his house off to the right, to his left. And it used to be an old Masonic lodge from way back in the early 1900s or maybe late 1800s. And the wind had come through and tore it down. So we thought, well, maybe we'll find some relics around there. We talked to him for a minute. He said, yeah, go ahead. And while we were over there, we weren't finding anything. It was kind of disappointing. He came up and says, oh, I own this lot right here beside me. And this lot used to have a 1700s house on it. Hmm. I said, really? Where's the house? He said, oh, they moved it back in the woods there. It's back there. Okay. So we hunted there, and we were finding shield nickels. We were finding stuff from the early 1900s. Quite a bit of relics, and it was pretty cool. But the good part was we decided, hey, you know what? Let's go check out that house in the woods. We go back there, and this house has been pulled back in the wood. And I went up in it, looked around, did a little video. That's where I found my first thimble, where they had tore up the woods and pushed dirt up in a pile, and I found my first copper thimble. Then he said, go down to that creek. We went down to this creek, and it was beautiful. It was only about 8-10 foot wide at most spots, really shallow. And we got down in there, and we didn't care. We didn't have water boots. We just started walking through the creek and metal detecting. And I got to a point where I got an 85 on the Garrett AT Max. Now, anybody that has an AT Max knows that 85 is usually pretty good. It's usually a 4, or it could be silver. So I swung it over the water. The water was this deep, and I had to dig with my little tiny shovel for a half hour. Had a pile of sand about this tall right beside me. And I was jamming my pinpointer down there, my Garrett Carrot, and the water was all the way up to here. And finally, I got it beeping. I said, there it is. I kept scooping by hand. Finally, I go back down in there and I can't find it. I look over and there's this edge of this coin just standing there waiting for me to pick it up. I got this right here.
Hang on, let me make it full screen here.
This was my first Spanish silver.
Oh,
This
nice.
This is a, let me turn it around so you can see the date.
Yeah, almost make it out. Yeah.
If I can be still, it'll focus. Come on, camera. People want to read this. Let's back up a little bit. Must be the light. Anyway, this is 1763 2 real Spanish silver. That was my first. And I was so excited that I was like shaking. I was like, wow, look at it. And then he came over. He says, that's better than a copper. And I said, you turn right it is. Because we were hoping to find a large cent down there. And so about 5 minutes later, he goes, hey, I got one. You got one what? A silver. Is it Spanish? He said, yeah, it's just like yours. So he pulls out one about 8 or 10 inches down. And it's an 1789 2 real right there in the creek. So that was one of our adventures. This guy here, met him when Diglogist stopped hunting for a while because he was in the process of moving to Indiana. Well, you want to tell the story about the field?
Yeah.
All right.
Let me kind of back up a little bit and tell my story that kind of leads into how him and I first met and hooked up, and we're pretty tight ever since. Growing up in Chesapeake Bay area, in the Colonial Williamsburg, the Outer Banks, you hear a lot of stories about pirates, Civil War, Revolutionary War. And then watching things like Treasure Island as a kid, you kind of get an interest, but you really don't. And as a kid, you really don't know how to feed that interest. Fast forward years later, late 90s, a friend of mine had bought a brand new White's XLT. He said, hey, look what I got. Want to go out with me? I said, yeah. Kind of looked at those, but really don't know much about it. Him and I went out, and he was complaining because everywhere we went, we were just digging trash and cans and everything. And I said, I really don't know much about this, but I think if we want to find something old, we need to go somewhere where we're going to find something old. And it was like dragging a log to get him to do that. And finally, listened, and we went up to an old house. People there said it dates to late 1800s. I asked if we could go in their yard, and surprisingly, they said yes. And it's complete virgin to all this. And we get out there, and he's swinging around. He's pull tabs, trash. I said, let me try. So he hands me the machine. Like 5 minutes later, under a dogwood tree, I get a solid signal about 9 inches down, and it ended up being a 1916 Mercury 9.
First year.
And I was like, wow, there you go. He was pretty impressed, and we had to go, and we left, and then I couldn't get him to take me metal detecting with him anymore.
Some people are inspired. Some people are
haters.
Anyway, it's the way it is in the metal detecting community.
I had an interest, but I just couldn't feed the interest right at the time. So a few years later, I bought a Fisher F5, and my brother had just bought a Garrett AT Max brand new, but I bought the F5 used because I wasn't sure it was something I was going to stick with, something I liked, but I wanted to kind of get into it. Bought it, went out with him, and it wasn't long. I did find a 1916 Barber diamond. I was like, well, first thing I found was a 1916 Mercury, and now I found a 1916 Barber first and last year. And we were out at a place, and we were digging a lot of bullet casings. And I was getting very discouraged at digging the bullet casings, but I started noticing how they were coming up on a machine. And I passed over a spot, and it was within the same number range, but it did not bounce. It was like rock solid. I said, oh, that's just not a bullet shell. Started walking away. I said, no, I better go back. Dug it up about 6 inches down was a men's gold wedding band. And
Nice.
so I was pretty hooked then. And we just started going out more and more, probably over the course of almost a year. And we happened to go to this one particular section that's of the area that's really getting built up. A lot of houses, buildings, hospitals, that type thing.
Harbor View.
Yeah, basically. But my brother really didn't want to go over there because of all the construction. I said, no. It's like, I think we need to go before they get all this area, because people think Plymouth Rock and Jamestown, like when they think of first settlements, but there's a settlement in the area that predates both of those, and it's called Nansemond Palisades. You can look it up online. There's not much, but when they were breaking ground for some of these buildings, they found some artifacts, and historians have proven that it is older than the settlement at Jamestown. But we were over there. We went over there. Again, felt like I was dragging somebody around like a log, and lo and behold, my brother finds a Spanish. It wasn't a cod; it was a pistarine, which is cut Spanish. So he was like thankful that I did drag him along, and then right after that, I found a 1773 Virginia halfpenny. So I was pretty stoked. It was getting late in the day. My brother wanted to go. I said, no, let's go to this other field right around the corner. Let's just go over there. Well, we only got about 20, 30 minutes. I said, well, that's all the time we need.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Dig a lot of holes in 30 minutes.
And we kind of cut around and through the creek and through the woods. And we go out there, and there's this guy with his head in the ground talking to the hole in the ground. And I'm like, what's this weird? I'll clean up what weirdo doing. He's talking to the ground. Ends up being this guy. And first walked up, he looked pretty nervous, and he realized we had metal detectors in our hands, and just kind of relaxed. Had a good conversation. I invited him to our metal detecting club, and he didn't make it the first month. The second month, he did make it. And I would say ever since then, we've just been hip, tromping through the woods, the dirt, the fields, the marsh.
Yeah, we're not just regular detectors. We go everywhere. I mean, I've been detecting in places where you're crawling on your knees and swinging. Remember that spot over there by the railroad track on the trail? I mean, we've been under there swinging like this, crawling on our hands and knees, finding Indian head pennies and buttons. But we go pretty much anywhere we can. Woods, fields, creeks.
So would you guys call yourselves more like relic hunters than coin shooters, or a little mix?
We are relic hunters, I guess we should say.
I consider myself more of a treasure hunter, because it's all of the above. It's all inclusive, whether it be the beach, the woods, whether it be relics, coins, jewelry. I don't turn any of it away, and I will take any opportunity that I can to go out and swing somewhere. It doesn't matter whether it's the beach, the woods, ticks, snakes. I don't know how many snakes we've come across, but it's just.
He's found 4 or 5. This guy's a turtle whisperer.
Yeah.
We go in the woods, and next thing I know, hey, check this out. He's holding a box turtle. I've probably got half a dozen or more video clips of him holding box turtles. It just seems to be drawn to him.
And I find probably this year alone, I probably found over 10.
Yeah.
But again, I just take any opportunity I can, any place. It doesn't matter. The wife sometimes just laughs at me because we're going to dinner at our relative's house out of town, and I'm slipping the detector in the back of the car. But hey, it is what it is,
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. But I really consider myself more of a treasure hunter than just a plain old relic hunter or coin shooter.
What What's on your bucket list still that you haven't found that you'd like to?
Well, my white whale is a flying eagle scent.
Okay.
I have
Found one.
He's found one. I've got coins from the 1600s. I've got coins 1700s, 1800s. Of course, everybody's got some from 1900s. Silver, no gold. I do consider gold one of the things on my bucket list, but the thing that really just irks me is that I get like that year before the Flying Eagle scent, or I will get the first year of an Indian hint penny, but I cannot get a Flying Eagle scent.
Mine happened to be pretty bad shape, but 1858. We can make out the date. Matter of fact, it was all three of us on the hunt that day.
Doing better than I am. But I mean, there's a lot of coins that I have not found that I would like to find. But I don't know, that Flying Eagle set is just driving me crazy. And it probably doesn't mean much to a lot of people, but to me, I just can't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a couple coins that I just knocked off my bucket list. I set a few things up here to show y'all.
All right. Hang on. Let me get my mouse over here. Here we go. Oh, nice. Walker.
1941 half. Eagles upside down. There you go.
I just want to point out that your left arm keeps disappearing off the screen.
Yeah, it's the background. All right, and then this one right here. I have found seeded half dimes, seeded dimes, but never a seeded quarter until about a month ago. And I'm gonna knock it down a couple numbers. See if we can. There we go.
Put it to your right just a little bit. There you go.
That's 1858 seeded Liberty quarter.
Nice.
That's two of them I knocked off my bucket list. Of course, I've got several Spanish silvers. I even have most people wouldn't know what kind of coin this is when they found it, especially if you're new. But the real relic hunters out there, you'll know that that's the Spanish cob.
Yeah. Very nice.
I will say one thing about Spanish coins in particular versus all other coins, and I've done a lot of research and I found a lot of Spanish coins that no two are the same. When you get back pre-1730, the late 1720s, the king realized that he was basically losing money due to the inconsistency in minting.
Right.
Prior to that, every Spanish coin was pretty much like a hammered coin. You know, they would just drop and stamp. And he enacted a milled coin act. And sometime around 1730, thereafter, things started getting milled. But even the milled coins in Spanish, no two are the same. The Spanish had a lot of mints. Throughout South America, they did have mints in Spain, but no two Spanish coins that you will ever find, even if they're the same year made from the same mint, are consistently the same. They're all very unique.
Yep. I've got two reals and one smaller than the other. I noticed that. Yeah, notice that when I went to put it in one of these little cases here, it wouldn't fit, but one of them would. Here's another silver. That is a 1738 1 real. In pretty good shape. Found that in a park, believe it or not.
Now I can believe it.
A common question that we get in our metal detecting club of people we talk to when we show them, you know, that we've gotten a Spanish coin or any old coin for that matter. What did it come up as on your machine? You know, how did that ring up? So on and so forth. And I can tell you that I have found silver coins on the Equinox 800. I found silver coins anywhere from an 11 up to a 34. But the one thing that every single one of them has consistently is When that number hits on the machine, it does not bounce. You know, you might get some other coins like a penny that, depending on the year, it might be an 18 or 19, 19 or 20 or 24 or 25, depending on the copper content. Even large cents, I've got large cents at whatever reason at a 29. Some of them come up as a 32, but even the numbers on those might bounce 1 or 2 points. But on those silver coins, regardless of what they are, it's a solid number.
Oh yeah.
This cob here that I just showed y'all came up a solid 22, and I dug a little bit of dirt out, plugged, and it went to 32. And I pulled it out. I was stunned. I've never found a cob, but you get a solid number, always dig it. Always dig it. I don't care if it's a bottle cap. If it's going 18, 18, 18, dig it. You never know, because the VDI numbers don't really mean a lot. They put you in an area of what it could be. If you go to the beach and you're hunting on the beach, you know that a 21 is a zinc penny. You know that a 24 on the Knox is usually a dime, and a quarter is 29 and 30. But I found a really nice silver and diamond ring earlier this spring. It came up solid 18. Nice.
We do have a question from the chat.
Okay.
Stacia R wanted to know if there is a good spot to go for researching old international coins.
Let me give you a little bit of information on a few things that people, me being president of our metal detecting club, it's kind of one of those questions that I get asked a lot, along with a few others. I will tell you that if you, and it kind of falls along with, I've seen posts on Facebook and some other social media. I found this coin and it doesn't look right. How do I tell if it's fake? You know, I used to like comment on everyone. I don't anymore. Obviously, a magnet against it will tell you a lot. But I found that one of my most valuable resources is if I do Google, just a simple Google search for a particular coin in a particular year. And if I look at U.S. Coin Book, Coin Trackers, any of those, if you look at the top, it will tell you how many were minted, so on and so forth. But then the key parts are the approximate diameter in millimeters, approximate thickness in millimeters, the metal content, so on and so forth. I saw where somebody posted a quarter the other day. I forget what kind of quarter it was, but they said it's almost the size of a $50. I'm like, it's not real. But they just couldn't get it through their mind. If they would have looked that up, that they would have simply found that it's just I wouldn't say fake, it's a replica. But another valuable resource that I have found that most people don't know about is LOC.gov, Library of Congress.gov.
Excellent resource.
You could go, excellent resource, and not just, I don't know that there's a lot on there for coins, even though there is information on there about coins, but you're looking for old maps, you're looking for coins, places where coins were minted. That is an invaluable resource because it's got documents throughout history on there. So if somebody's talking about a particular coin, a particular mint, a particular type of coin, it's a valuable resource to find that information. LOC.gov.
I'll add a little something to that. Some of the easiest ways to research coins is just go on Google Images. I have found so many relics and coins and buttons on Google Images. It helps the idea really quick. You can even do a reverse search on there where you upload the image and will tell you what it is. There's also on modern phones, you got Google Lens. Sometimes you get lucky on that. Just get a really nice picture of the coin and snap it, and Google Lens will try to bring up whatever they got, on the web on that coin. I think that's how we found out about the Lord Baltimore, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Well, everybody who's watched my channel over the past year, or at least watched some of my videos, know that I found that colonial coin And then I auctioned it. But when I first found it, it came up with 22, and it's a silver coin. Came up with 22 on the Knox. And Daniel didn't believe it. He had to run it under his machine to see. But it came up 22, and he got on the internet because we'd never seen that coin before, and he found it using Google, and it showed what it was, name of it, and a couple of examples of what they were selling for. That was the first of it. But also, here's one more thing you can do too is if any of you are out there or ever wanting to know what coins are worth, you can go to stacksbowers.com. That's an auction site, and they do a lot of coins, colonial coins, foreign coins, and it's based on the condition. It tells you how much it's worth, whatever it grades at. If it's an AU, it's going to grade lower than a mint state, and it's going to be less money. But if you go to stacksbowers.com/archives and look at the coins, you would be amazed. I actually watched a video on YouTube where one coin sold for $10 million.
Holy cow, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of American coins. There's a lot of American coins and peace dollars that are worth a lot of money. And you don't know it until you start doing that research. Also, you can go to heritage auctions and you can send them pictures. Each one of these auction houses has specialists in different areas. I got in touch with the colonial coin expert. His name is James McCartney. He was really friendly. We shipped the coin. They paid for the insurance to make sure that it made it there. He paid for the grading, and it went over really well. So they're really professional people. So don't worry about sending your coin to an auction house. They're not going to try to steal it because they do hundreds of coins, hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of coins a year at auction. And so that's a good resource. Both of those websites, stacksbowers.com and Heritage Auctions.
I will say that now that I think about it, ironically, one of the most valuable resources for researching coins, relics, anything that we find in the dirt, the sand, the water, so on and forth, we're using it right now, which is social media, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I do a lot on Instagram, and there are times when I found something I just could not figure it out, Google Images, and I've taken a good picture of it, and I have put it on some of the Facebook sites, and inevitably somebody will eventually come back and give me a pretty good idea. Sometimes it's not exact, but it's enough to lead me down another path of research to find out what it is. So I would say social media is a very good resource for
Facebook ID me. There's a lot of people on there.
Yeah.
But it comes down to the wealth of knowledge that people have. Somebody may have found something or something similar to it over the years, and they've done research, and they'd be more than willing to help out.
Yeah, one thing I've learned in the detecting field is people are willing to share information to a point. They're not going to give you their honey holes, but they'll help you ID coins and tell you resources. So the more you network with people, the more you're going to learn.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's one thing that I've kind of figured out in the past 4 or 5 years. Going to different events and talking with people. It's kind of like the old adage: if you want to be a certain way or change that, you have to surround yourself with like-minded people. And the more that I surround myself with like-minded people, metal detecting, whether it be in person, whether it be at a club meeting or a paid hunt or on social media, it slowly improves my knowledge of metal detecting and finds. So I say sticking around like-minded people helps too.
Definitely.
I want to drop a little bit of information about what's going to happen with my channel this year, and then I'll let you get on to the race stuff. Do you have an hour?
Huh?
Do you have more than an hour?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I don't want to run into your race time because I know a lot of people work hard cleaning up, and I want to see the races. All right. I decided I'm going to start doing some different types of videos. I'm going to do some informational and videos and some experiments, I guess you say. But I'm basically going to build what I'm going to build here, and that's the theme for the night. The construction behind me. The theme is, building a laboratory, so to speak. So I'm going to be doing some different videos, and hopefully people get some good information from them, and they'll watch the videos and share them. Also, I'll give you an update on the boat. A lot of people watched me build this boat for a year. Well, we've had a couple problems with it. I still got to keep it. It's an old Bayliner. These guys don't want to get in it. Him and his brother are scared to death.
I'm scared to death. I just don't like the long swim back.
Well, we had a little problem last time. It had to get towed in. The relic riser, as I call it, it was a fun project. It was a lot of work, a lot of money. I may be cleaning up, fixing it up a little bit, and then selling it and going to a smaller boat, more of a skiff type boat, Carolina skiff or something with an outboard motor. I really want to do some water hunts before the fall, before the late fall, because we don't get cold weather here until December.
And it might still be 75 in December or January for that matter.
Yeah, and so the relic riser is in dry dock. I cleaned it up the other day, and I'm going to have to buy a battery. I'm going to have to fix an oil leak and adjust the throttle, a few other things. But if I can get it, if I sell it, I'm going to get another boat, and then we're going to be out doing water hunts. Also, along with the lab and the boat, me and a friend of mine named Rich, I've known him since 1993. We did music together, and we've been in a couple bands. And I recently wrote a song, and he helped me record it. He's got a little in-home recording studio. And so I will be cranking out a music video about metal detecting.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a song about metal detecting, and I think you're going to like it. And it's going to be professionally recorded. You'll see. I will announce. Right now, we're tweaking the final mix, and I just made some clips. I got more video clips to make for it. So hopefully this video will be out. Hopefully mid-July.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'll probably do a live stream when I do it on a live stream. So
awesome.
That's it for my stuff. You got anything else you want to add in there?
Well, a lot of stuff I could add. I just want to touch on the boat thing. So we're on the East Coast, Chesapeake Bay, and there's a lot of water around, and there's a lot of roads and a lot of congestion. And the boat thing is about getting from one place to another a lot faster than we can on the roads. And it also opens up our opportunities to some places that just inaccessible by a car, or it would just take forever to trot through the woods. So we're just trying to expand our horizons, give ourselves some more hunting grounds. He's got a boat. Obviously, he just told you the story, but we have another friend, Todd. I call him Todd the Digger.
Todd's a bottle digger. Yeah.
He digs bottles. He has no interest in our coins, even though he thinks they're cool. But he's got a boat, and we've gone out with him several times, and we've gotten into places that normally we wouldn't have gone into, and we found some really cool Civil War relics.
Oh yeah, it gives you access to so many more places, and you don't have to ask permission. As long as you have your permit, there's a permit you can buy from Virginia Department of Marine Resources, and it's about $30. That will allow you to metal detect the waters in this area without anybody giving you any trouble. Now, some people will say something. If you ever watch Matt Gone Digging, he's been approached by homeowners. So Just got to be careful where you go. We're looking forward to getting back out there in the water.
Yeah. But I will say one thing about the area that we're in. We've got Colonial Williamsburg, we've got Norfolk, we've got Virginia Beach, we've got the Outer Banks in the eastern shore of Virginia, and this area has a lot of historical significance and has a lot of historical, even Yorktown battlefields. And I don't know a lot about the laws in other places in the country, but around here, there are a lot of laws in each county, each area, and there's state laws about where you can and can't go. As he was just mentioning, if you get along the water, you're supposed to get a permit through the state of Virginia, and it's not about the fines that you find. It's to make sure that you're not destroying the environment when you're digging. But you have to have that permit to metal detect. Obviously, places like Yorktown battlefields, it's federal land and it's off limits. And there's a lot of places around here that I don't know the whole story, but the guy had about a $3,000 Garrett metal detector, one with the two big, huge coils on it, and was metal detecting on a national wildlife refuge. He got his metal detector confiscated, got a $1,000 fine, and he was supposed to spend 30 days in jail, ended up spending 5 days in jail. There's another city, Chesapeake, close by. If you go metal detecting on city property, that's not against the law. But if you dig a hole while you're metal detecting, it's a $1,000 fine, and they confiscate your metal detector.
So it's kind of,
we
might as
really,
well just say no, you can't metal detect.
right? But around our area, it is a little bit unique, and we really have to just kind of watch where we go. And which leads into the other thing that I wanted to say is that an app that we use a lot is Base Maps. There's ONX Hunt and there's Base Maps. I've used ONX Hunt and not had to use Base Maps, but on Base Maps there's a feature on there that will outline a particular property's boundaries. So you and it will pinpoint where you're at. So you know if you're getting across the property that you're going over towards like a national park or a city park or something you're not supposed to be.
You can find that on Google Play.
Yeah, but it keeps us a lot out of
Base
trouble.
Maps, BASE Maps. Great app for, it's made for hunters, but it's a great app for us. We do a different type of hunting, of course. One other thing I'll mention before you go on with your race and stuff is this area here, like you said, we're rich in history. A lot of it started here, Jamestown. We got First Landing State Park right off the coast of the beach, north of Virginia Beach. This area is called Hampton Roads, and I really never thought about it, but this guy told me one time it's named Hampton Roads because of the waterway. It's named that by the sailors that came through here. So the Hampton Roads has nothing to do with asphalt. It has all to do with these back river roads. I mean, these back rivers like York River, James River, and the Ansman, Bennett's Creek, Chuckatuck. There's a whole bunch of places around here with a lot of history. So that's what Hampton Roads is. It's the waterways.
JBP Hobbyists had a question. Who do you have to contact in your hometown to detect on local parks and schools? And that is a little bit of a tricky question because like I was just mentioning about our area, different areas are going to be different ways. But I've had some people recently ask me, like in the past week or two, who they needed to get in touch with on school property to go metal detecting. I have advised them against it with the violence that's going on in the world in the schools and people really looking for anything suspicious. And I said that, and they kind of knew the backstory because we have several club members who have gone out metal detecting at a school and have gotten run off by the police and threatened with a fine and so on and so forth. And it wasn't that they were metal detecting on the playground. No, they were in the flower bed at the front of the school. But one resource that you could use is your county website. The other thing that you could do is if you see a police officer or game warden, you can just simply start a conversation with them.
Yeah.
Another thing is get in a group of people that are in your area. If you're in my area, which is Hampton Roads, I recommend getting in a metal detecting club because there's a lot of people there with a lot of vast knowledge. There's a couple of national websites, and I can't think of their names right now, that constantly update on federal, state, and local laws, and what they are as far as you can metal detect and can't metal detect, or problems that people have had. But again, the most valuable resource that you're going to get is to engage with people, whether it be law enforcement, whether it be look at their website, asking people in your county, or just being with other people that have been in your area for a while metal detecting.
One other thing, treasurenet.com.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's one of them.
Malaysia Metal Detector, how you doing? Thank you for coming in here tonight. Clark's Cove, glad to see you guys here. Hope y'all doing okay.
So,
Machine
before we get to the basics, one more question for you.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Or actually, I got two.
All right.
The first one will be, what is your one most favorite find that you have?
You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Well, my favorite find that I had, of course, was the Lord Baltimore shilling. But one of my favorite finds, and it was very, very old and very rare, during Pound the Ground 2019, I was there. I seen you guys there. Yep. I was at a rental house in a little area of Vermont called New Hero. And before we went to the event, I tried to go out there along the shore of Lake Champlain and do some detecting. And I found a fur trade silver brooch.
Yeah, I remember that.
If anybody's not familiar with it, it's basically from the 1500s all the way up to the 1800s. We did a lot of trading with the Native Americans. We would bring our silver here and trade for beaver pelts, otter pelts. They'd ship that back to England, and they'd line hats with them. We did a whole lot of silver trade with them. The Native Americans loved the silver, and at one time we had 5 countries making silver to ship to the U.S. for fur trade. So the fur trade silver brooch is my favorite relic that I still have.
I will say a couple of things. I got a whole bunch of things on my mind. Favorite find. I don't know that I have one favorite find. I have several, but they were all for different reasons. One of them was a 1680 Spanish half real cob. And the reason that I was so happy about it, not just because it was old, because I had gone through a silver drop for like a month, 2 months, and him and my brother just left and right. They're finding Spanish silver. They're finding silver drops. I wasn't finding anything. So I was really thrilled about that. I was really thrilled when I found it. Well, this is probably the biggest heartbreak that I've had since I've really gotten into metal detecting. Was I found a Spanish 8 real.
Oh, yeah.
Got it out of the ground. Saw
real.
the silver. I was just flying high. And then I got to clean it up, and there's a hole in the middle, and I got to clean it up more. And it is a counterfeit 8 real. So I thought I found a real 8 real, and then I was heartbroken because I realized it wasn't. But when I did some research, it's counterfeit real. And what a lot of people did is once they realized it was counterfeit, they would drill a hole in the middle. Or it could be the Trime that I found, because it was a place that dozens and dozens of times that people have been in there, and I just insisted on going back in there because it felt like it was never figured out. And found
By the school.
And then 2 weeks later, you and my brother both found a Trime, but that was pretty exciting. Or there's a beach across from where we normally meet at our club, and our club, when we bring our fines in, it's been the fines for the past month. So
13 Dig, how you doing?
So when you leave the meeting, your month starts all over, and I hadn't been out of the meeting 15 minutes at the beach across the street and got a solid 11 on the Equinox and dug it out. And it's a lady's wedding band with 6 little diamonds in it. And it's platinum, and I look it up online, and it's worth $1,800. So I was pretty stoked about that. God, there's just so many. But, this is probably my favorite one. And it wasn't.
The gold ring?
Nope.
The class ring?
Nope. The year's going to skip my mind for a minute. But, and it wasn't as much as what it was as how I found it. So there's a couple old farmhouses that I've got permission to go around that are being developed and slowly being torn down. But one of them has some rather large trees in the yard, and gone over and cleaned it out, cleaned it out. One day I was riding by, and one of these big oak trees had gotten struck by lightning, tore it up, and I knew the farmer, and I went over and talked to him. He said, "Yeah, we're probably going to cut it down." I said, "What are you going to do with the stump?" He said, "Well," he says, "I'm not going to pay to grind it up. I'll probably dig it out with a backhoe." And I said, "Well, when are you going to do that?" He says, "It'll be a while." I said, "Well, do me a favor. When you go to tear out the stump with a backhoe, can you just not disturb the dirt around it so much? But if you get the mound of dirt around it knocked down." He said, "Yeah, and I'll just spread the dirt out." And he says, "I know what you want." And sure enough, I went back there. And I drive by there every day. And one day that stump was down, and it was smoothed off, and I went through there and I found a seated Liberty dime, and I was just so happy because I know I could name at least 11 other people that had metal detected that yard and have consistently told me that there was nothing there. And just in my eye, I need to look where nobody else was looking. I needed to hunt in a way that no one else was hunting, and I had a good relationship with the guy, so it ended up fetching me a nice seated Liberty dime, which was my first seated Liberty dime, by the way. But I don't know. That's good memories there.
I got a couple beach finds I'll share with y'all real quick before we move on. Might not show up too good. Men's zirconium wedding band.
Very nice.
Yep. I didn't know what I had. I figured it was tungsten carbide, but it's zirconium between $600 and $800. And of course, there we go. Hello, Kitty. 925 silver ring, just from the other day. That'll be in my next beach video.
I did want to comment on something I saw coming across the feed. Somebody was saying something about bottle digging or privy digging. As I mentioned before, we've got a friend named Todd that does a lot of bottle digging. There's a couple other people that I've met bottle digging. I've kind of gotten a little bit of a relationship with them, and he has too. Mm-hmm. They have no interest in metal detecting, and I don't have a lot of interest in bottles, even though I will pick at something. But if I find an old bottle dump, I text them, let them know where it's at, and they kind of reciprocate if they're out and they happen to find a bottle dump, and they've got permission for it. They text me, message me, or call me, or say something to me. So it kind of works both ways. But they help us out, and we kind of help them out a little bit, and it's a good thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not much of a bottle digger either, Daniel.
Yeah, but if you came across some bottles and you knew that you had a friend or somebody you knew that did,
I would definitely let people know.
Expand your horizons.
Yeah. I think they're nice. I don't want to keep them.
Right.
I don't want to cut my hands up.
Yeah, that too.
But I will say that our friend Todd, it was 2 months ago, was digging a privy, and I don't know how many feet he got down in this privy with bottles and other pottery, but he ended up digging a Confederate soldier's Civil War sword with the sheath.
Wow.
So
Wow, that's really cool.
that was good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I would go privy digging. I mean, like it's, the last time a privy actually really been used in more populated areas has been over 100 years. So I think pretty much what's in there isn't what it was, what it was anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Still kind of gross in a way, but.
But if I do see, and another thing is if I do see a bottle dump somewhere, then I know that there was some old activity, and I definitely scout around that area. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're gonna do the race real quick, and then if you guys want to talk a little more, because like I said, it doesn't matter how long I go.
So how many people was in this?
30.
11.
11 people were in the race. Okay. The challenge.
Yeah.
I seen Tripwire's video on it, but I didn't see anybody else's. I just watched that one video.
Bear made one. Marlon, he made one. He was the first one to do it with his daughter, Aurora. They ran around picking up trash at the schoolyard, which is awesome. But, even though it was only 11 people, and you figure most people probably picked up more than 50, that's still 550 pieces of trash.
Yeah.
So
You ever seen the documentary Plastic Paradise?
yeah, it's been a while, but yeah.
Well, it's pretty sad. People just don't realize.
No, they don't. And I mean, I've watched city workers just like drive by and toss their Dunkin' cup out the window, and I'm guilty of it too, walking into the supermarket and walking by the trash I see.
Yeah.
So that was my point. Like, we all find trash in the ground, and we should be taking it with us because we dug it up, but I'm just as guilty as anybody else of walking by trash that I see on the ground, like, yeah, look at somebody put their McDonald's bag out right by their car and drove off, but I'll continue to walk by it. I'm just as guilty.
Yeah.
So, I just figured, a little incentive maybe I don't want to clean up other people's trash either, but I don't want to continuously walk by it anymore.
Right.
So, every little bit helps. Might only be 550 pieces of trash were picked up, but it's 550 less pieces of trash out there. And a lot of it was plastic.
I'm sure. Plastic is one of our biggest pollutants on the planet right now.
All on board, and lots of nasty people.
Yeah, lots of nasty people. But we do know someone real well that collects every bit of aluminum steel scrap and piles it up in buckets, and then eventually takes it to the scrapyard and gets a couple of dollars.
Talking about Doug Money?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody know who Doug Money is in here? That's his brother. You'll see him in my videos as well. But most of the time, it's me and Daniel here.
Yeah.
We can't get out as much as we do. We're usually out 2-3 days a week.
Nice.
I'm usually out 4 or 5 or 6.
So he'll go on some when I got to stay home and be the maid. He'll go out and hunt. Send me pictures.
All right, so let's get this let's get this up because I know a lot of people are waiting. So
All right, guys.
I should probably show because I didn't download the prizes. Let me bring them up real quick. That Team Lynch donated for 2nd through 5th. So I'm going to take the top 5 winners
Okay.
instead of 5 races. Just take 1st through 5th place.
I want you to do a race after this one. Whoever wins the trash one. I've got something I want to give away tonight. Since you had me on, I thought it would be nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Very seldom do we get really nice condition coins. I actually won this, and I'm going to pass it along to somebody tonight. This is a 1976 proof set of all the coinage. You got your dollar, half dollar, quarter, dime, nickel, and penny.
Here, try that again. I was typing.
There you go.
Very cool.
That is a 1976 proof set. And I will give that away on, a separate race. Give everybody a chance to win this.
Well, what I can do with that is do the comment grabber from StreamYard. Unless you want to watch a race.
We could do that.
The comment grabber, or
Yeah, you can do that if you want to.
this way,
That way everybody
somebody
can,
drops out before we get to it.
Right.
We start grabbing the comments now. So as long as they're commenting, they'll be in it.
all right, y'all drop them comments in there.
Drop them comments. I want to say something real quick because a couple people asked if I had a YouTube channel. Hanging around with this guy, I don't see a point in having the redundancy, but I do have an Instagram channel or page, and that's where I post all my good finds. There's a lot of stuff that I find that I don't post on there, but anything that I think is good and worthy, I post them on Instagram. But other than that, I let this guy do the filming.
There we go. For some reason, it went to the help center. Why is it going to the help center?
Come back up here to chat a little bit and say hello to a couple of people. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm trying to.
Hobbyist, thank you for showing up. Carolyn C., how you doing? Gary's Metal Detective. Hello, Gary. How you doing? Patty, I said hello to you earlier. Hello again. Jimmy Clough, hello. Olin Borden, hello. How are you? Patty Disharoon. Let's see who else we got here. Mark Thomas, Stories from the Signal. I'm going to check out that channel.
I thought another
Mirror
thing.
videos.
I thought throw another.
Marlon,
thing
how
in
you
there,
doing?
too. If you see me commenting on YouTube, it's under my YouTube channel. I basically don't have any videos on, but I do have another YouTube channel I use for personal stuff, and sometimes I forget what channel I'm on. So I do like and watch videos on both channels, but just because you don't see something from Dime Detective doesn't mean that I'm not watching or clicking like on it. I'm just doing it from my other channel.
Right.
So I know you kind of laugh every time I do that.
I don't know why it's giving me a hard time finding it. I just had it. What the heck? It's like giving me Twitch giveaway tool. I don't want that.
Shout
All
out
right.
to Clark's Cove.
Who's got a good relic find? Drop something in the chat. Tell us what you got. Anybody got a really nice relic recently? We're always interested in relics. Old coins. I call old coins relics. People like to separate them, but it's an old coin, so I call it a relic.
I think we kind of missed something earlier when we talking about our favorite finds, and I was saying for different reasons, but
Yeah.
I have to talk about 2 reals.
The 2 real. You mean the 3 reals?
The 4 reals.
The 4 reals? Oh yeah, you want to talk about the 4 2 reals?
Yeah.
Okay.
For 2 reals?
Yeah. The 4 2 reals and a large set.
Yeah.
And a War 1812 New York Excelsior button.
Oh yeah, that was a sweet button. I
It was a
remember
sweet
that.
button.
Right in his front yard.
So
His front yard.
so
This deep.
we again we try to like mingle with other people that either like-minded or have land or properties, but this one particular person had no interest in metal detecting, but there used to be a church in their front yard, and off in his neighbor's yard is a cemetery. And we're kind of like looking at this place, and
It's actually in his yard. The cemetery.
I think it's actually, if you look at the property lines, it looks like it's his, but it's
Oh,
in the
okay.
other one. But regardless,
1700s cemetery, right?
1700 cemetery.
Yep.
And my brother happened to know the guy. He works where he works, but in a different department. And over a course of months, my brother ended up sweet talking him, and we went over there. This place is near a creek and some marsh. Said we really shouldn't. He didn't really want us around the yard up near the house because of his manicured grass. We're like, no problem. We'll just take what we could get. The front yard around where the church was at had been filled in, but we get along an embankment in a ravine, and we were there probably an hour or so, and I got this sweet 32 on the Equinox, and it did bounce. I'm like, oh, what is that? It was only a couple inches down, and I popped the plug, and I knew it was a Real, wasn't sure which one it was. I come flying up over the hill.
Yeah.
He's kind of got it on. I don't remember what the name of the video was. I think it was We Found Reals.
If you go to my channel and look for We Found Reals video, probably a year and a half ago, 2 years.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a great video.
But then just a few minutes later, he found one, and then a few minutes later, my brother found one, which
Best hunt ever.
I won't embarrass my brother, but if you watch it, you'll have to laugh.
Yeah, he lets out a scream that's kind of
sissy, but he was just so excited that he found one.
Yep.
But there was a lot of vegetation. It was grown up, and we go to leave, and I'm going around walking across the edge of the yard, not really in the guy's manicured grass, along the flower bed, and I get this solid signal. I said, I'll dig it. It ended up being an 1812 New York Excelsior button. It still had gold gilt on it.
1812 was with gold gilt. That was amazing.
Yeah, War of 1812. That is my favorite button. But fast forward just a few months ago, my brother got in touch with the guy, and the guy says, I clear cut the bank. He says, I don't know if you're interested or not, but I got rid of all the brush.
Yep.
I don't know if you're interested in coming out or not. We're like, oh yeah. And we weren't there 15 minutes. Go along the same, and I got a sweet 32 sound. I said, oh, I knew what that is, or I know what that is. I got that out. Him and my brother came over.
2 Real.
And not like a minute after he was done filming, I've got another, I think it was a 31. Not even a foot away. It ended up being a large
scent, right?
And then we didn't find anything else.
A little bit about this property is Doug Money got us the permission. We didn't think much of it. We went there and went down on this embankment and went down to a marshy area. And after we dug these Reals, we got to thinking, how did they get on this bank? What is it that put this old coinage here? And it had to do with the church and the cemetery. So we had a lot of people was probably sitting on that bank losing money. Probably, I'm thinking that some of the bodies came up the creek and came up in that marsh, and then that's where they were offloaded and brought to the cemetery. So we're thinking that there's some drop money there, and that's how it got there.
All right. So
you just never know.
Finally got the comment picker to start working. So
all right.
Let me bring up these. Let's see.
Good find, Patty Disharoon.
What you get? I missed it.
I haven't been looking at the chat. So
Good original World War I General Service Eagle.
Awesome Eagle buttons.
Yep.
Love them.
Yeah, I found a script eye last time at Shazy last fall. All right, so let me bring up their pictures and then I'll share them. So for the second through
U.S. box plate. That is awesome.
That is awesome. I will say real quick, another valuable resource for researching old buttons, military buckles, so on and so forth, is relicman.com, the Ridgeway project. Have to scroll down to the bottom and then go through the different pages. They're basically got old military buttons, like I believe even from 1776. But going on there and looking through the buttons, you kind of, and they have information on there about those buttons. But if you've got a button that
Patty DeSharoon, swimming medal, 1956. Go ahead.
it's a good place to kind of compare what you have to what's on there to narrow down, get more information about your buttons, buckles, military related.
Hey, Tim, Alley Cat, Zamboros. All right, I was trying to bring my chat up while y'all were talking, but everything's not working. All right, so this is second place. So it's a buff and a rosy and a little, make sure I go the right way, little 1 gram platinum.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
This is, I guess, third place. I'm just going in the order of the pictures.
Platinum. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How big is that thing? I have nothing to compare it to. Is it an inch long?
1 gram.
Quarter-inch long? Wow.
It's in between. It's a little smaller than the dime.
I see. I got nickel and dime to compare it to. That is nice. That's a good giveaway there.
Then third place, we'll get the proof set, 93 proof set with a buff and a rosy.
All right.
Good find, BC Trails.
What was that? Third place. Fourth place, I'll get the 68.
Oh, Danny boy, just a digging. If it's an old copper coin, is it a relic? I call it a relic.
And I call it a relic too. You can't spend it.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what happened to all the pictures, but we'll just get to the race. So we have Whistle Pig Diggin', JBP, Stacy R, BC Trails, Mayor Videos, Tracy's Treasures, Patty Disharoon, Tripwire, and Lisa P. These were all the people that sent him to. Wow, no. That's not going to work.
We missed out saying goodbye to Stories from the Signal. I will check out this channel.
Did he leave?
Yeah.
Oh. So I got to look on my phone because I don't know what happened to the pictures. So we're going to shuffle.
We got actual people this time instead of ducks.
Yeah, I figured we'd do a race. It's summer. We'll shuffle again. Small field.
All right.
I don't know why all the pictures didn't. Let me see.
Minute and a half.
Is this going to be like the Kentucky Derby? The guy in the back's going to end up winning?
It's always the guy in the back.
Make a prediction out of 11. Who you think is going to win?
Patty Disharoon.
I'm going to say that JBP is going to win, but we'll see. It's just a guess.
1,
Nothing personal, anybody.
2, 3, 4.
Hey, if you're watching this, you're automatically a winner.
I think the second, third, fourth, fifth.
SoCal Dirt Fishing. How you doing?
So third place would be the 93 proof set. Fourth place would be the 68 proof set. And the last picture that didn't show was 5 decades of Lincoln wheat ear pennies.
Then after that, I got this.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
76 proof set. Hey, Rachel, I'll just have them drop their information with you, and you can forward it to my email.
Yeah. I'm going to put, actually, let me put my email down below.
Yeah. JrzyRae.
There's the email. All right, so we're going to get the race going.
All right. Alley Cat
Yes.
Treasures, hello.
Tim rocks, by the way. Alley Cat. Very happy to see you, buddy. People have been asking about you. But I let them know you've been working really, really hard, dude. All right. So Here we go for first 5 places. Small field, 11 people. Let's see who gets them.
It's a swim, not a run.
Well, right now it's just a sit still. Come on.
They're starting to get leg cramps.
Yeah, there we go.
And they're off. All
We
right.
got Stacy R in the lead right now.
Stacey R is in the lead.
Yeah,
JVP.
Patty and JVP coming up on her.
Patty's moving up on Stacy. All right.
Yep, those are the 3 in the lead right now. Tracy Treasures is falling behind. She's in last. We got Digging in BC fighting for 4th and 5th. Tripwire's coming up. Mayor Videos is taking over BC.
Back there. Tripwire. How you doing, Tripwire?
Nice haircut, Tripwire.
Yeah, that's a nice spike you got there.
Yeah,
Lisa Pig is falling behind. Lisa P is keeping pace. Not wearing herself out down there.
Come Digging. Diggins up top. Come on, Digging.
Here comes Tracy's Treasures.
Oh, Tracy's Treasures is pulling back up. She was
must have drank the Red Bull. Got some wings.
Yeah, or a monster.
Yeah, purple.
A purple monster, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we got Whistle Pig
Diggins
and coming up from the bottom.
Oh, Diggins running out of gas. Tracy Treasures is smoking hard.
Diggins further ahead.
JVP, Whistle Pig, Lisa P, and Mayor all coming up.
Out of nowhere. Whistle Pig is pulling up past everybody.
It's the last second. Somebody's
coming
up from the back.
JP, could I be right? Could JP be
Whistle Pig, Patty Disharoon, one of them. Here we go. All right, so we got a Whistle Pig going to first place.
All right.
Which I believe I still have your address, Whistle Pig. So we have the 1922 piece dollar with the buffalo and the dime, but let's see who's second, third, fourth, and fifth. So second place, Patty Disharoon gets that 0.5 gram of platinum. Let me bring those pictures back up.
All right, congrats, Whistle Pig. Congrats, Patty.
Yeah, I should be right.
Looks like BC Trails might be third. Is that third? Okay, so yeah, BC Trails. Fourth,
yeah, I'm trying to find my little notebook. My dog's took my notebook.
We were both wrong.
All right.
Congrats, Whistle
Pig. All right.
Oh, she got second place.
Whistle Pig.
Patty, yeah.
First.
He got
Patty Disharoon. He got the 93 proof set. BC got the 68 proof set.
We got 34 in the house. I'm glad everybody showed up. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I wanted to get the word out there about what's coming up on my channel. So you guys, if you haven't been to my channel lately, go there, check out a couple videos, maybe go some older ones because I got some really great finds with Don Detective and Doug Money. Just click that bell.
All right, let me take this down so I can read the winners now.
All right.
I will be on Instagram. I don't post anything on YouTube because this guy's doing all the filming.
Yep.
All right. So Whistle Pig gets the 1922 piece dollar from me and the Rosie and the Buff from Team Lynch. So second place was Patty Disharoon. Why is that up there? My settings were up for some reason. Patty Disharoon, she gets the buff, the dime, and the little platinum. The 93 proof set goes to BC.
Cool.
Great.
It's a
And
platinum.
that was that Team Lynch that donated all of that?
Yeah, everybody send your email address to me and I will send it to Team Lynch. So BC got the 93 proof. Lisa P got the 68 proof set. And JBP got the Lincoln Wheat Ears pennies.
All right. Great.
With Rosie and a buff. That's the only one I didn't show a picture of, but I'll show you on the camera, JBP. On my phone, I mean.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice.
Look at steel scent in the middle. Oh yeah,
Yeah. 5 Wheaties with a steel scent. Yep.
that is nice. My grandfather was collecting coins, and I got his coin collection handed down to me, and there happens to be a steel scent in there and a 1909 VBD penny, but it doesn't have the correct mint mark to make it worth a lot of money. But I still got a 1909. Who wants the 76 bicentennial proof set?
Me?
Here you go. No.
Iron Antler is here.
Hello, Alan Antler.
That's Beard. I don't know
I
what
don't know
else.
about everybody else, but when I'm having a really bad day, nothing fixes it like going out metal detector,
That's right.
finding a nice piece of silver. And sometimes I don't have to find anything else. Just being out.
It's meditation to me.
It's meditation. Just getting.
Apparently, I missed Iron Antler, but he was here.
Bad day of detecting still better than.
Oh no, he's still here. There we go. Okay, Beard. My clicker wasn't working. I know you guys have heard that dog the whole time. Hey, swing that thing. All right. So the comment.
Have a good night.
The comment picker has been picking away.
Okay. How many people we got?
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so all 11 people that were in the race. I have all their names in the email, so I'll let you know who they all are, Team Lynch. But everybody was in the race of Mayor Videos, Tripwire. Who all didn't win? Wow, there's a lot of people. I don't know. Let me do this real quick. Let me go back to my email. All the people who didn't win.
Thanks, Team Lynch. Thanks, Team Lynch, for giving out these prizes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention what I was throwing with them. Well, a little surprise for me for each of the 2nd through 5th. I just forgot to tell what I was throwing extra, so it'll be a surprise when you get it.
I currently am out of my channel stickers. I've been out for quite a while, but I got a new design in the works. I'm going to get new stickers made up, and then I'm just going to mass mail them to different channels and let you guys hand them out. I just wanted to be decent.
We got Diggin. All right, let's see who else didn't win. BC won. Diggin, Mayors, Tracy's Treasures, and Tripwire were the 3 that didn't win.
Okay. Chilling and Grilling Adventures with Dan Bros.
I'll email them and get their addresses. All right, so you ready for yours?
Yep. All right, everybody. I hope you dropped something in the chat. Bicentennial proof set from the silver dollar, well, not silver, from the dollar all the way down to the penny. And this is brand new, never circulated.
Very cool, man.
I like the ghosting effect.
All right, let's see. Las Vegas Treasure Hunter just popped in.
How you doing, Las Vegas?
All right, so let's share the screen.
Put on down here.
We have 31 people watching and 29 entries. So
a couple of you hadn't dropped something in the chat. Go ahead and do it now. If you get a chance to win this proof set.
Let's get this up to 31.
Got 2 more people in there. Yep.
Tom Kingery's pretty lucky on this stream here.
I am.
What was that, Carolyn? C was a metal detecting name. So should you come up with a metal detecting name? That's totally up to you, Carolyn. C. Some people do. Some people go with their name.
I don't consider it a metal detecting name. I consider it a pirate name.
Yeah, there you go. I know you just you're new to the stream, and all right, so like right below your comment is Team Lynch. Team Lynch is Team Lynch because they're husband and wife, and they're beach metal detectors because they detect the beach. I'm JrzyRae because that's been my email address for like almost 30 years. And then digs because I dig a lot of stuff, not just treasure seeking in the dirt. I dig a lot of things. I love history. So I don't know. Toss around a few ideas.
We got 31 now. All right.
There we go. 32 watching, 31 entries. We're gonna go ahead and go with it now. Hey Jim Steele, how are you? FL Thunder digging with Rob. Now we're even. Rob just made a comment, and now we got 32 watching, 32 entries. So everybody ready? Here we go. Let's see who wins.
And the winner for the bicentennial proof set,
Mark Thomas.
Yay! All right, congrats, Mark.
Congratulations, Mark. Mark.
Congrats, Mark. You just drop your information to JrzyRae there, and she'll forward it to me. I'll make sure to get this in the mail to you ASAP. Congratulations. All right. Everybody talking.
A couple times.
That was flying by now.
Oh, yeah. Look at here. Back up to 33. Congrats, Mark.
Come on, chat, catch up. All right. Yep, Mark's up. Hey, Mark, I already have your address, so John, I'll send it to you.
Menordo Rob, how are you? Glad you could join us.
I tried to get in your stream earlier for the usual 10 minutes or so that I'm in there, Beard, but these two dogs are driving me cray. So.
All right, Mark. Get that in the mail to you.
Probably I'll email it to you afterwards.
Probably come in a bubble envelope. I'll wrap it up really nice.
So, the second question I had for you guys before we wrap up things, because this has been a fun hour and a half.
I've had a good time.
Yeah. So you go out detecting, and part A would be, what's the average amount of time that you would say you spend treasure seeking?
Well, if it's an after work hunt, we'll do it until dark. So we usually get together maybe 6, and we'll hunt until 9. That's a few hours. It's not as long as we would like, but of course it's during the week, so we squeeze it in when we can. On the weekends, it's usually about 6 hours, right?
Yeah, but I will add to that, if it's after work, even if it's in the dead of winter, if the temperature's good, we've got the headlamps on. We're out sometimes 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Yep.
One of my best finds, well, my best buckle was a shoe buckle from, we dated it to about 1550. Yeah. We were out at that site at 11:30 at night with our headlamps on.
Yep. That's I got about 3 or 4 headlamps I keep in my bag all the time, and keep them in my side pouch. Because you're out there and you're finding stuff, and it gets dark. You don't want to go home. You want to stay a little bit.
But
so part B would be actually to go along with what you just said.
Okay.
So part B is on those marathon hunts when you know that it's not after work. You're going out a Saturday. You're off for work. You're going to spend more than a few hours out there. What essentials besides your equipment, your detector, your hand digger, your shovel, and your pinpointer, and your finds bag? What essentials are you taking with you?
I can answer that.
Go ahead.
Number one is bug repellent.
Absolutely.
Especially around here, our state bird is a mosquito.
Yes, it is.
That's number one. And number two is that being out as long as we go out, early on we got tired of hollering at each other, and we went through series of a couple of different radios till we found some radios that didn't interfere with the detector.
Yeah.
But we always carry our radios because we found that we've gotten probably a half a mile from each other trotting through the woods, and nobody,
Oh
either
yeah.
one of us was at. So,
I don't know how we did it so long without having radios, really. He'll get on the radio and say, "I need a camera crew." I'm like, "What?" Diglogist, I need a camera crew. He done found something. I'll get there, and the ground's not even broken. But he's swinging his machine over, and it's a 32, solid. Okay, let's do a live dig. Of course, you know the curse of the live dig. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. Yeah, headlamps is one of them. Keep on going.
The other thing is my phone, but not so much for the people texting, but again for using base maps, because there's been times it didn't.
Instagram Live.
Well, there is that. We can't find one another, no matter hooting and hollering. But if I go on base maps, I get my GPS coordinates and tell him where it's at, or snapshot it and send it to him, and he can find me or my brother. Or we can find our way out of wherever we're at.
So bug repellent,
Radios, batteries.
Yeah, 9-volt batteries. I keep a collapsible loop in my pouch. I also have, this is going to be kind of funny. I've got a toothbrush. Most people do, but I've actually got a spin brush. I love that little thing. It's $10 at Walgreens, and put a couple double A's in it and click it on. It just cleans it right up really nice. A spin brush, along with a toothbrush. Let's see. Of course, we got to have water.
I was just gonna say, you guys, you didn't even mention water yet. You dehydrated a long time.
We always have water. We keep cases and stuff in our trucks and cars. Also,
I'd say the two most important things. One of them's referred to you, not to like single you out, but make sure your detector's charged. That's number one. Well, that's number two. But the number one thing is having a positive mental attitude and not getting discouraged by the brush, the bugs, the can slaw, so on and so forth.
That's tough to do.
Just keep going through it, and we'll get out. And if we're really not finding anything, we'll just move and go somewhere else. We don't. I keep telling them, don't be a hater, be inspired. Just try to.
I always say, hope for the best, expect the worst.
There you go.
Right, and if you happen to be unfortunate enough to go on a hunt with us, you're going to hear some words that you're not hearing tonight.
It's all right. I've said and heard worse myself.
But yeah, just a positive mental attitude and a detector that's fully charged.
Yeah.
Because if I forget my
I'm getting
shovel,
better at that.
I'm going to dig it out with a stick.
Yeah, it's no fun getting there and having 1 bar of charge on your machine.
Wouldn't be the first time I did it.
Or batteries. I've actually had to stop at 7-Eleven and buy a battery. So
that's when you were with the AT Max.
Yeah, the AT Max. Yeah.
I will say,
spent a fortune in batteries.
I will say a lot of the new detectors, there's not a lot of difference between them, but one of the benefits I found with the Equinox over a lot of other machines is not having to buy batteries every couple days, every week. Just the cost savings of having a USB rechargeable detector is just more than paid for itself.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That's what I like about the Knox. I mean, I still use my AT Pro too. So
there's one thing we forgot to mention that we always carry with us. We usually each have at least 1 Cliff Bar.
Yeah, food's good.
Yeah, we got to have at least
a bar.
You laugh, but we'll go out for 6, 7, 8 hours, and that's the only thing.
Oh no, I've gone on marathon hunts too.
Yeah,
gotta have some kind of snack with you.
Yeah, but we've hunted to where we sometimes hunt 4 or 5 hours, sit down by a tree and drink a little, Gatorade or what we have, and eat a Cliff Bar. Sometimes some snack cakes. That's something I like to carry. Especially if we're deep in the woods. There's places we go to where it's 20-minute walk to get to where we need to hunt. Sometimes longer. Yeah.
Carolyn C said knee pads. Some of us use them, some of us don't. I used to.
I have them. I don't like wet knees.
I
Yeah.
used to, but I've
I
tried
not
to.
like dry, wet knees on my pants.
I don't actually kneel very often, so usually I just bend over because
Yeah.
just easier on my back for some reason. Getting back up again, forget it. So, but yeah, a lot of people use knee pads, Carolyn.
I get out sometimes, and
You said you're in Camden, Carolyn. You should email me. JrzyRae@gmail.com. I'm
And look at Thunder FL
Thunder. Yeah.
Gotta have Peter Pan honey peanut butter.
There you go. You gotta have it.
got protein's actually better for you than sugar, but
Yep.
I think the longer we expect to be out, the more we carry with us.
Oh yeah.
But there have been times where we thought we were going to be out for an hour and ended up being out for 4. But sometimes we thought we were going to be out for 6 hours and ended up being out 15 minutes because of the pouring rain, like it happened that one day.
Yeah.
I mean, we had this thing planned. I mean, we've been planning for a week to get out there. The storm is off in the distance, and we're like, yeah, we're still going to do this. And we get out there, and it just poured.
what are we showing here?
This is a half of a 2 real.
Oh
The-
yeah,
The only cut coin I've ever found,
That's
and it's a Spanish silver.
it's pistarine.
Listerine, yep.
nice.
Found that in a park as well.
You're surprised what you find in parks. A lot of people don't, they discount them. They think there's a lot of modern. Actually, Team Lynch should be joining me tomorrow if the rain stops by the time we want to get together. I have an 1850 mansion on a closed Catholic school property. It's got a good probably acre and a half of land around it, all around the school and around the house. So there's, since 67 when the school was built, there's that much modern change.
Yeah.
Then under that's going to be the older stuff. And I have pulled out some silvers. I have pulled out a V nickel. So I know the older stuff is there. It's just I've been plucking the modern change out for a while now. So should be
Yeah. I got a question for you. Have you ever found a skeleton key?
I found 2.
I've got 3.
Nice. You're one up on me.
I've got about
Small
that many,
one and 2 bigger ones.
but I don't have any that are whole. All of them are missing a little piece somewhere.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's on my list is to find a fully intact skeleton key.
And you will find it. You got to put it out there into the universe.
There you go.
I'm looking for the pine tree shilling now since colonial coins are so valuable.
Yeah.
Hey, Flash brother, Ed brother.
Hey, Ed, everyone, thanks for jumping in here, man.
Thank you for being here, Team Lynch. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Let's keep our fingers crossed that the rain stops by 3:00. I don't know if Ed saw my comment in his live last night, but I couldn't make it to his Flash Bash, and I really wanted to, but I did take off for the Gold Rush weekend or whatever it's called, and Labor Day weekend. So I will be there for that Flash. Either way, I'm hanging with you. That's what matters. So,
Right.
Is it just me, or I want to know if I'm the only? This is something I've always wanted to ask, like a group of people, and I don't do it at my metal detector meet because it would just never end. Am I the only person that when I find something unique, that I spend time thinking about how it might have gotten there?
now I got a story for everything.
And I'll give you an example. I got an 1812 cat bust $50, and it had a hole in it. And I know that I found a lot of coins with holes in it, but I just keep thinking, 1812, what was going on at that time? You've got the War of 1812 was going on. So somebody put a hole in it, either as a necklace or a hem weight, something and so forth. How did that person lose it, and how did it get there? And there are other things that I found that I've done the same thing. But am I the only person that thinks about something odd like that when they find something?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Because I remember one time being out and we found I had found what at the time we thought was a small shoe buckle, but it may have been a hat buckle. Now, I did find somebody shared some buckle images from a book on identifying buckles. Could have been a hat buckle, that 3-point hat they used to wear. But anyway, so we found that. We found a like a brass or copper barrette for a girl. Hey, Grandma Kelly, and
Hi,
my
Grandma Kelly. How you doing? Thanks for coming in.
and a buddy found probably 20 feet away a musket ball. So we came up with the story that, there was a little boy and a little girl out for a little afternoon tryst, and Papa wasn't having any of that. That's where the musket ball came from.
Oh,
You just come up with stories because, I always wonder that's what I said in one of my videos. That's what is for me with the relic hunting is like coins are great, but just like today, coins don't stay in your pocket very long, so there's nothing personal about them unless they've pulled them and made them a necklace. But
Yes, exactly.
relics for me, because those were personal, the buttons, the shoe buckles, things like that. Those were personal items, that something they used every day.
Yes.
one thing that I find quite a bit is harmonica reeds. I know a lot of people that's been out there detecting in the woods or in the fields. You find these harmonica reeds. So at some point in time, the harmonica was a very popular instrument. One night I found 3 pieces of the same harmonica 20, 30 feet apart. I always wondered how many people had them back then? How many companies were there making them? I find so many of them. There must have been a half a dozen companies making those things.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it was probably just like they're not very expensive now. They probably inexpensive back then. They didn't have the entertainment we have, so they had to make their own entertainment. And violins and guitars and things like that, pianos, organs, they were expensive, but you can make music with a harmonica, which was much cheaper. So that's probably why we find them much more plentiful than we find organ reeds or squeeze box reeds, because those were a little more pricey. So if you didn't have a whole lot of money, but you wanted to hear some music, you got a harmonica.
Well, yeah.
Or a jawharp.
I haven't found one of those. Another thing that is still on my bucket list, and it's not that big a deal, but I have never found a crotal bell.
I found my first last year. That was
Yep.
on my bucket list for a while.
I've been digging in the ground and in the sand for 10 years now, and I haven't found a crotal bell. That's one thing I'm looking forward to getting off my bucket list.
You'll get it. You'll get it.
I found a wedding ring once. It had initials and it had a date in there. And if the date was the wedding date, it wasn't even a month and a half ago. And I just remember looking at it, well, the honeymoon must be over. There's a couple other thoughts in my mind as to what was said or what happened when they realized they lost their ring. But yeah, that just honeymoon's over.
Yeah.
It is funny the things we find. And yeah, I think all of us think about, there might be one or two here or there like, harmonica reed, whatever, but for the most part, I think most of us do think about the things we find. How did it get there? What did they think when they lost it?
Oh, yeah.
Did they notice right away? Did they notice the next day?
Yeah.
We, not too long ago, I guess it was back in, was it late fall or winter when we found the Cedar Woods?
Yeah.
There's a place we call the Cedar Woods, and we actually found out that there was quite a bit of relics in there. And it was in a place you wouldn't never think that there's relics. But I found a staff officer's button. I found a half real. You found what? What'd you find in there? What's some of the things you found in Cedar Woods?
I found some military buckles. I found some Civil War bullets. I think I found a silver dime in there too.
Oh yeah.
But you wouldn't. I guess the whole point is you just wouldn't. It's just one of those places. It's like in the middle of a highly congested area, but it's just this one little spot that hadn't been tapped by anybody.
Yeah.
In construction or anything. I guess for me, the biggest like hair standing up on the back of my neck thrill I get when I go to a place is the more untouched it looks, the bigger the trees are.
Yeah, hardwood trees, big hardwood trees is where we want to be.
Little trash. Oh yeah, we have those.
The young forest that we encounter used to be farm fields not so long ago. So if we get in a pine forest, and the trees are this big around, we know that used to be a farm field. So the potential for finding relics and old coins is really good there too.
The
You can
flash,
age a pine tree. Every 10 years, they put out a new spindle.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
that's cool.
Flash in your pants said something about tokens, and we both found a lot of tokens. But what was that one particular token that you found?
An insurance company token
Hmm.
on one of our after work hunts.
But it was an old.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have a Civil War token. I got this little thing. It was almost bent in half, and it was round, and it had MC 50 on one side. I didn't know what it was. He tried to look it up on the phone. Was they would come up with MC was McDonald's? No. Got to looking online, and I found out that what I had found was a Civil War token, and it was the Pennsylvania 4th Cavalry token, and it was given to Civil War guys as change in with the stores. If the Civil War guys went to a store that area, they give them back. They give them tokens of change, and that would ensure that they come back to the store and spend it there. Is one way they kept their money coming in. So it was a very rare. It's a very rare find. Not very valuable, but very rare.
I
Pretty
found,
cool.
found a lot of pickers chips, or at least that's what I call them, pickers chips. You know, usually brass, got some sort of number or letter stamped on them, and you wouldn't think that they meant much. But in this area, apparently it was quite common for. I know one place was heavy into tomatoes, and people would go out and pick a bushel of tomatoes, and when they brought the tomatoes back to the wagon or trailer, whatever it was, they were given a token, and either at the end of the day or the end of the week, they went up to the farmer's house with that token, and who gave you cash for it. And I think to myself, could you imagine being out there for 3 or 4 hours in the sweltering heat, picking tomatoes, get this token for your day's wages, only to lose
I think
it?
they also call them a picker's check.
Yes. Only to lose. Could you imagine being that person, just knowing you didn't just lose a call, you
Lost a whole day,
possibly,
Yeah.
possibly a whole day wages. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Man,
that's crazy.
man. But
Well, fellas, this was a nice long one. I usually don't go this long, but I've had such a lot of. You guys are very informative. So.
try to be.
We got stories. That's for
We got
sure.
Oh, I know. I remember talking to you at Pound the Ground, and that's why I was wanting you to come up on here.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun, and Virginia ain't that far.
That's right.
Yeah, I drove right through Virginia to go to North Carolina at the last dig stock. So
There you go. There you go. It's a guy named Jeff in our club that was at Digstock. We couldn't go. We had other obligations, but it being in a club that, I can't go to all these hunts. He can't go to all these hunts, but inevitably there's somebody in our club that has gone to this hunt or that hunt. And when I come back and tell the stories about this or that, and some people are like, man, I should have went. And other people are like, I'm glad I didn't go.
True. One thing I can tell you about this area, of all the paid hunts I've went to, I've always found more just in my neighborhood, just in the Hampton Roads area, and a lot of it just in his town.
yeah, for me, most of them, the North Carolina one was pretty good from what I saw, but the Shazy one was the same place as Pound the Ground, but there were a few more fields opened up.
Okay.
But for the most part, for me, it's like, I don't really expect to find a whole lot in the natural hunt anyway. It's about meeting up with people and seeing people I haven't seen in a while, or, seeing people I've chatted with, and, the camaraderie.
Oh yeah.
A bunch of treasure seekers just like me.
That's right. That's what
I don't go to a lot of events, but the ones I've gone to, I haven't been disappointed yet. So
We went to Liberty Hall Plantation in Culpeper, Virginia for a hunt a few months ago, and both of us went into it knowing that whatever we found probably would not pay what we paid into the hunt, but our reason for going was to be around other people, socialize, and so on and so forth. So I think a lot of times it just depends on what you're there for. Yeah, I think if you pay for a hunt, you go there expecting to make your money back and some more, it's kind of like gambling. But if you go there to have a good time, hear with like-minded people, share stories, and so on and so forth, you're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
That's real.
I look at it this way, some people spend a fortune going to Disney World and don't have a wonderful time.
We did have.
Or they do, but they you can spend a lot of money doing other things.
Yeah.
And you're never guaranteed a good time anywhere you go.
Yeah, that's true. I just enjoy getting out. It doesn't matter when you were talking about going out and how long do you go out and so on and so forth. There's been times I've just gone out for 15 minutes and I've had a better time in that 15 minutes than sometimes I've gone out for 8 hours. To what I find or just clear my mind. So I think it's good.
Yeah, that's why it's dirt therapy.
That's right.
Play some meditation.
I will, and not to get off on a tangent, but I'm president of the club. We have a secretary, we have a treasurer, a few other. But every meeting, and I didn't understand this until I got into an officer's position, and some of the other people had mentioned it to me that I don't know. I feel like sometimes that it's a therapy session, that whether it be personalities clashing or whether it be personalities meshing, so on and so forth. It's like I've kind of gotten to somewhat of an awareness that for a lot of people it is an escape. It is a hobby. It is, maybe they've got a stressful. We've got a couple people that are firefighters, and that when they get off, they want to clear their mind. And it's just helps them do that. So
Definitely dirt therapy.
Yeah. I like it. Like sometimes I go out because I'm like I really want to find something, and then most of the time I go out is just to just get out and be by myself. And
one thing that I can say about hanging out with this guy and his brother, we've been places where we've run across really nice waterfalls, brooks, really beautiful places in the woods that you would never know were there unless you were out metal detecting, because they're deep in the woods. So being out in nature, running across snakes and turtles, we've seen some foxes, bears. Being out there in nature it's great. We love it.
really big snakes.
Yeah, some big snakes, a couple big snakes.
I'll keep the words simple, but there was about a 6-foot water snake, and he was curled up like a water moccasin a few months ago. I thought, I was like, he was underneath my coil when I saw him. I thought that was it.
Yeah, that ended up being an eastern water snake.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I wouldn't have found that sitting on the couch.
That's true.
So I enjoy it. Therapy.
I just realized when I was reading the race, did I say BC Trails or BC Treasure Trails? Well, it's BC Trails who was in the race.
Okay.
And,
So we got.
names.
We're going to ask BC Trails if he used to be BC. I see we got two separate people here.
No, BC Trails was something else before. I don't remember what, but BC Treasure Trails and BC Trails. British Columbia Treasure Trails and British Columbia Trails. But BC Trails is the one that won third place. So
now, before you wrap things up, I'll just mention one more time about what's going on with the Diglogist channel.
Sure thing.
I'm gonna do some different types of videos, some experimental type things. I'm gonna do some informational videos. I'm gonna make them interesting too. I'm not just gonna make a boring video. They're gonna be a little bit to them. And then, of course, the room I'm in now, of course, you can see a construction site in the back, but that's just a green screen. The room I'm in now is actually going to be where everything happens. I built a really nice bar, a couple bar stools here. I got a nice live stream set up. I'm going to set tables up across the room, and it's going to be some pretty good videos coming out this summer. And then, of course, hopefully by the middle of July, I will be finishing the editing on that music video. We'll get that out to you. See how you like it.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat's looking forward to it too.
It's a good song. That's one thing I am. I'm not just a YouTube creator. I'm somewhat of an artist when it comes to words, and I've actually done painting. So I got a lot of art stuff about me. I guess I'm in the wrong trade.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
BC Treasure Trail said he's been editing for 42 weeks.
Wow.
All right, so
Must be a long video.
I'm gonna send you guys to the green room,
Right.
and close out the show. But I want to thank you guys for coming up.
Thank
Good night,
you for having
everybody.
us.
It's a huge pleasure. A lot of information. I know everybody in the chat enjoyed you guys. I think most of them know you. Mayor did share your.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Mayor Videos, Marlon, for sharing my link. Thanks, Grandma.
I don't even know if he's still here.
Well, he might have stepped out.
Yeah, probably so. But
BC
yeah,
Trail.
thank you. And I'll send you back. I'll shut down the show, and if you hang out for a minute, we could chat for a second.
Thank
All
you
right.
for having us on.
Yeah, thank you so much. I
And
really
thank
appreciate
everybody
it.
for tuning in.
Thank you all for being here. Y'all have a good night.
All right, I'll talk to you guys in a minute. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight on our marathon show. 2 hours. I think that's a record for me this time. Actually, it might not be, but I think it is. Congratulations to the winners again. We got Whistle Pig, Patty Disharoon, BC Trails, Lisa P, JBP. Most of you have your addresses. BC Trails. I'm not sure if I have your address, but so make sure you email me. And then the other people, I will email you guys because I can't even remember offhand who all. It was Mayor, Tripwire, Diggin, and a couple other people. So I will email you guys. Thank you for joining me. Remember, keep the Tomanis in your prayers and thoughts tonight as they mourn the loss of Matt, and the detecting community as well. Many knew him. And for those of you who didn't know him, he was a really awesome dude and a great ambassador to the hobby. So please, again, keep your thoughts and prayers with the Tomani family. And I will see you guys next week at the same summertime, 7:30 p.m. Wednesday night. Thank you for joining me. And for those of you who are new here tonight, check it out my channel, check out my videos. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. I upload on Friday nights now. I dig Fridays. So see you all next Wednesday night. Peace. Oh, there's my fingers. Peace.